All right. What's up, everybody? This is the Amish Space Station. Let me make sure I can hear myself. Let me make sure I can hear myself. And I can. Hmm. All right. So this is going to be like a live stream chat test or whatever. And just to make sure, I want to see if my internet is fixed. I already see some issues with the internet situation now, actually. I haven't even started yet. Hold on. It still seems to be holding. All right. Okay. I think we're good. I'm going to see if it gets choppy. It shouldn't. I think I might have fixed my internet issue. So that's the purpose of this. And it's to look at flat Earth from a little bit of a different perspective here um, than some other people have. So before I get into it, I just wanted to let everybody know a little something. I'm going to do a video on something that's been on my mind. It's digesting information. I'm going to do a whole video on that. But I think that's one of the biggest problems that we're all facing as a whole society right now is digesting information properly. You know, people hear things and they say, okay, I don't really trust you, or I don't trust you, or, you know, it's about digesting information. Like, you know, people like Alex Jones, for instance, 100% paid shills, stuff like that. And you can see that they are gatekeepers. So you know, in general, you definitely have to learn how to completely digest information. Hey, Cryptic, what's going on? Said, what's up, man? I'm on my lunch break. Oh yeah, thank you for checking out the stream, man. Yeah, I like your flat Earth poem, by the way. I meant to tell you, it's pretty good, man. Got to keep doing it. And anytime you want to have a chat, man, let me know. I can bring you on anytime, man. I'd love to have you on. Um, flat Earth is one of those things where it's really, really important. You know, I think the biggest things right now, it's even bigger than, this whole Corona situation. You know, in the correct order, people need to learn the truth about Earth, and then have NASA taken down completely, abolished, shut down, and then holding every nation responsible that is part of the Antarctic Treaty. You know, and then at that point, once Antarctica is opened up to full exploration, at that point, we're able to be more free, but all it takes is, a few political powers, to come together and they hold everyone else in slavery. It's that easy. Oh, Cryptic says, thanks, brother. I've added to it. Oh, yeah. I'd love to do a stream with you. Let me know. I have the next couple of days off. Oh, sure, man. Yeah. Normally, I'm free around this time. I've been a little bit hesitant because of my internet situation. It's not that I have slow internet. I don't have slow internet at all. I used to work for the industry there, and the thing is, I went to college for computer information systems and communications, so I actually know what the issue is. And I used to do a lot of maintenance work for the company, and it's just quality of work. It's the people, and they won't fix the. There's a lot of people. It's kind of like what we're facing now. It's the same thing. It's people who aren't experiencing these problems and seeing it firsthand out in the field, and they're trying to say, okay, I don't think the brain of the computer system is going to cause your internet to screw up. I'm like, dude, what happens if you don't have a brain inside your head? What happens if somebody messes with your brain? Your rest of your body doesn't operate properly. And I've been trying to explain that to these people at this company. I had quit. This was years ago. I worked for them. I've quit probably 5 years, and I do other work now and stuff like that. But I wasn't having it. But I think I actually fixed my internet issue. It seems to be holding really, really well. So that's the purpose of this chat here. And you know what I mean? I think it'll hold up now. I think I'm almost ready to grab some cameras and stuff, get a few people on and really do some chats and things. You know what I mean? And just make some conversation and spread the word as much. I think it's everybody's duty, to spread this information, and let people know. Yeah, Cryptic says, because no one knows how to critically think outside their, yeah, that's right. Outside their booking is right. So that's the, and speaking of, I'll show everyone, this is what I'm talking about. I want to do a stream on digesting information. This is from Nathan Oakley and everyone in Quantum Eraser. This is the Black Swan. And this is what I mean by digesting information. The picture that you're viewing now, you got to understand that the maximum amount of distance to the horizon, okay, can be no more, 2 miles, almost 3 miles. And what you're looking at is a horizon in excess of 9 miles. That literally, see, this goes over people's heads because people don't understand how to digest this. The radius of Earth has been completely debunked. And yet people are acting like this isn't a big deal because they don't understand, Hey, Monkey King Grunge. Hello, I'm new here. What's up, man? And welcome. Welcome. Thank you for checking me out. Appreciate it. And I hope you do enjoy. But yeah, what you're seeing is 10 miles away from 1 foot on the ground. You're seeing 10 miles from 1 foot. That's basically the equivalent of taking a basketball and flipping the basketball around to where the logo is on the back side of the ball, and you still are able to see the logo. It's like, no, the logo is behind the ball. So if you got a ball, take a ball with your logo, flip it around, and then move the ball away from you. How high up can you go, or further back, rather, 90 degrees on a circle. How far back can you go before you actually see it? Is infinitely. You're never, ever going to see it. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people, they don't get how significant this is, that we see 10 miles, further than 10 miles from 1 foot off the ground. It's done. This is a done deal. The horizon should be way up here somewhere, way up here. The horizon can be shorter because there can be fog and there can be a lot of other things, in the way. But the horizon can't be that far back. We're kind of done. Hey, David Banner says, good stuff, Amish. Good vibes. Thank you. Thank you guys for checking out the stream. So anyway, I came across something. I want to get started here. I'm going to do a whole separate video about the digesting of information like this. A lot of people are looking at these cranes and they're like, look at all this refraction. We're not talking about the refraction. We're talking about the horizon. And the horizon is an apparent location, meaning it's not a real location. It's an apparent location of where the sky meets the earth from where you are. So the thing is that you're seeing 10 miles from where you are. It's impossible. I mean, that's why I say people are like, oh, I don't believe you. It's like, it's not a religious thing. Sorry. It's not a religious thing though. It's fact. But let's get into it. I wanted to show you guys this. I've been trying to do something because the internet seems to be something where it's completely taken over. So I want to travel to a few places and go into some libraries. And this is going to be in upcoming weeks. And I'm going to get some historical documents from different towns in America in the libraries. I need some actual papers, newspaper clippings, other published works, and I need it from libraries. Because the thing is that these people, what I discovered is that these people have chosen what they want to put on the internet and what they don't. So you're limited if you're actually going to be doing a lot of research through the internet. You're limited on what you can find and what you can see. But what I've been doing as of late is I've been finding specialty searches to figure stuff out rather than Google. And while I'm testing my internet connectivity, if anybody has any connection issues or notice something, definitely throw it in the chat for me. But the internet should be relatively stable. I want to make sure my internet's 100% stable before I set up like a whole podcast thing and get cameras going and a lot of other people on here, talking back and forth with me and bouncing some ideas around and stuff. I'm actually going after a few newer guys to do the whole thing with that don't really know much about flat Earth. And I kind of want to go through, the whole history of flat Earth, to experiments on, the American people, to other people, different language, nations and things, and to historical information, to Tartarian information, all around, to religious information and stuff like that. And I kind of want to go through, I don't want anybody on, not on the show. I'm talking about here with me in studio, in person, that knows a lot about this. There's not a lot of people that know. So this is going to be like almost a brand new show where you can actually relate to somebody I bring in here who they may not agree with some of the things that I'm saying right here live on here, and you'll get to see it. So, you might actually get to see them completely go from one way to sitting in here with me for a little bit, and over the period of a few weeks, they instantly turn into a, knowledge seeking individual, which is what truthers are. I'm not right about everything. No one is. But as long as you're seeking, that's really what matters. Craig says, good on my side. Sound wise. I've only accepted flat Earth, and yeah. That's excellent. That's excellent, man. For me, I'll be honest. I used to defend NASA hardcore, and I just did. Like I said, I used to study UFOs and stuff, and it was like Secure Team 10 and them before he started pushing a lot of this alien agenda stuff, which is completely different. You can probably ask any of his fans even, and they'll be like, yeah, he pushes a lot of alien crap now. It used to be different. It used to be government cover-ups he was pushing, and different strange disappearances and stuff. And he doesn't do that anymore. He doesn't do that at all. It's all, the mainstream news just said there's aliens, blah, blah, blah. And the thing with it was, I thought that what we were looking at was validated science and that the pictures were legitimate pictures. And then when I started, listening to Eddie Bravo and everybody and stuff, and then, I'm like, Eddie was like, no, these aren't pictures, they're fake. I'm like, Eddie, you can't tell people they're fake. Yeah, you got to show some kind of proof that they're fake. And Moki Kigros, I used to watch him too. Yeah. Isn't it amazing? It's an amazing transformation. And, I was like, you can't just tell people they're fake. You can't tell people that. You have to show proof. And then NASA's like, yeah, we lost the telemetry data for the moon missions. And I'm like, whoa. Hold on. What? Wait, what? And I'm watching all these documentaries, and they're just like, yeah, we failed at this and failed at that. And I realized too, I had to humble myself down a little bit and realize that I didn't know much about I've never seen the moon landing tapes personally. So I'm up here watching Secure Team, and I'm like, all good to go. Like, yeah, dude, everything on here is legit. And I never even seen the moon landing tapes. I never even seen them or what they look like, and then you find out that they had it on a projector. They didn't even play the tape itself. You find out the president made a call to someone from the moon on a landline. I mean, it just gets so stupid that I just feel like the company or, conglomerate, NASA, who I defended for so long and had so much faith in, it's just like it just started dwindling away into absolute nothingness, and that was before I studied anything having to do with, relative density to, second law of thermodynamics, violations with space, and even the black swan, right here, you know what I mean? And actually going into the geometry and understanding what any of this so-called pseudoscience, rather, whatever it even was, I don't know. But I will say, I was working, as far as like when I was studying all that stuff, I watched a lot of Secure Team 10, but it was very clear to me that if UFOs were so-called real, they were man-made vehicles. So never once did I actually believe in aliens, ever. I had said that technically, if the universe was how they said it was, which if it was, there would be life on other planets, because it's practically impossible for, you to have technically planets just like ours all over the place, billions and trillions, for that not to be life somewhere. It's technically impossible for there not to be life. But then when you realize that all of it's fake and all of it's nonsense, it's like, dude, I mean, I just feel sorry for people tuning into that nonsense, Cryptic says the flat earth makes it hard to believe any of the evolution and being. Yeah, that's right. So then you realize you are not a mistake, but the center of importance, which makes this consumer life seem. Yeah, it does. All together. Here's the thing about evolution. And me and Eric had featured on a song with me, Theory of Revolution. It's on my playlist. Actually, no, it's not on my playlist. It's on my Amish space station topic. But it's also on iTunes and everywhere. It's on Eric's page if you want to check it out. I let him put that up on YouTube. I wanted more people to actually go to him because he had more information on it. And, he really featured with me. I appreciate it. It was amazing. It was a really good song. But what I had said in there about evolution is completely debunked. It's the reason why is really, really simple. Evolution is supposed to be a science. And for the scientific method, you have to observe a natural phenomenon. So evolution supposedly took place millions of years ago. So no one observed this. It's a historical story that they put. It's a historical narrative. Then they're calling it actually, science. So it fails step one of the scientific method and stuff. You know what I mean? And then you actually see, a lot of the other issues, like that Eric had mentioned, Piltdown and Lucy and all that other crap. Yeah, Cryptic says I found you through this song. Yeah, Eric. A lot of people came over, man. Eric's been awesome. Eric is really awesome. I hope that I'm representing him correctly. I don't speak for Eric, but I do hope I'm representing him correctly. And he can feel free to correct me anytime, especially if I make some wrong statement regarding him completely. I'm open to anything. People can come in here and come with anything they want to say, as long as it's backed up and they're able to back it up. I respect everyone's statements in here. In the past, there's been people in here that just come in and they're like, yeah, Amish, I just made a video on you. You should go look at it. It'll be uploaded in about an hour. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to watch your stupid video where you're calling me a Mason, you're calling me names and stuff. I'm like, dude, I'm doing this. I work multiple jobs. I do a lot of other work, and I'm doing this. Why are you, it's like, I didn't even know these people. I searched for myself on Google to actually see. Sometimes when you Google things, it skips the search engine through YouTube. So you're able to see more information. So if you search for Amish Space Station, you actually get to see some of the shills that are attacking me on there. But if you search for it on YouTube, it doesn't bring them up, as much. So it's weird, but I found them on like a fluke. One guy was making fun of me talking about, I didn't know what I was talking about vaccines or something. And I'm like, dude, yeah, you're in over your head. I'm like, I know exactly what I'm talking about vaccines, the history of vaccines, you know what I mean? And germ theory and all that stuff, and he even admitted it. The guy who was dissing me, and he's like, oh, well, for once he's right about this. I'm like, I'm right about the whole thing, my friend. But it is what it is. I'm used to the nonsense. I really am. Honestly, I've been debating for years in this flat earth topic and a lot of other topics, especially the towers and 9/11 stuff. But I didn't have a YouTube or anything like that. So a lot of these debates took place on other platforms. So I kind of look like a newer individual. However, I've been studying this stuff now for almost 20 years. And that was back when I first, had my eyes opened up, with 9/11 and stuff like that. And that was kind of, ever since then, you really got to, actually what it was A Plain Truth, I believe, The Plain Truth. That was back on Netflix. They actually had a documentary on 9/11. And I was like, that was one of the first things that made me just think critically, where I'm like, I actually get to think on my own here about this, and I started seeing how none of it made any sense at all. And, but then from there, I dove in full dive, you know what I mean? Where you're really looking for a lot of different information, a lot of footage, a lot of people who were there, interviews and stuff like that. But apparently they had a big misinformation campaign going on with that too, and they censored that into oblivion. So it's really strange though, and it's unfortunate because I still feel I know where I was and what I was doing and who I was talking to, even though I was a kid back 9/11. So I'm very, it was something that was very serious to the heart of the nation here in America. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. It doesn't matter whether it's 100 years from now, I'll be 80 years old on here talking about 9/11 because it's a turning point. The same way the Church Christ situation over in New Zealand was a turning point for those individuals there. But that's a topic I'm not even going to touch here. But anybody who wants to know about that, I would check out the Crow House. He actually just did a full breakdown. And he discovered the people who were actually there at the time, the vehicles that were there, got the vehicle's tag number and everything. It's amazing. However, if you are in New Zealand, I think it's illegal. You can get like 30 years in prison for watching or sharing any information on that. So just be warned. Because there are, the government wants to be your single source of truth, is what they say. And they're here to protect you. So, and sometimes you got to lock people in jail to protect them. I don't know what you guys' problem is. It's just a little jail, taking of a little freedom. Sometimes you got to do that there, I guess. So anyway, God, communist, man. This is what I've been looking at lately, and I wanted to show you guys this. This is Library of Congress. This is a new correct map of the flat surface stationary Earth. These are historical documents. I'm going to show you guys a few of them. This is contributor names, publisher 1920. This is in 1920. John George Abizade from 1868. This is the stuff I want to do, like a whole flat Earth history digging type of playlist and stuff. And I wanted to, this is in Arabic and English and stuff. This isn't the main thing. I want to show you guys some newspaper clippings. That's just mind blowing, but I want to show you this. This is the true map of the flat stationary Earth by, I love saying that, by a Syrian American professor named John George Abizade. I published this map to reveal the true posture of the Earth. First, to help the people in recognition of the fact that the Earth is flat and does not move. Second, this is so amazing. Oh, man. Oh, David said, Amish, what do you think of the 1,000-year-old Buddhist? I will give you my true feelings on that. And I don't want, okay, Cryptic said my break is over. I'm sure I'll check the rest out when I'm out of here. All right, man. Let me write that down right now. And I will contact you. If not tonight, I'm going to try and contact you pretty soon. Thank you for taking the time out. We should have breaks all the time personally, because life should be a break to enjoy whatever we want to enjoy, but instead we're forced into this system of slavery, my friend. So thank you, though. Thank you. And I'll definitely contact you, bro. Definitely. And David says, what do I think about the 1,000-year-old Buddhist flat Earth map? I don't want this to discourage anybody. So I just want you guys to understand how I truly feel about this. I think that map is 100% fake. And the reason why is because I've been looking into trying to calculate the distance that you would have to be in the air in order to, to actually see that and map something like that out. You know what I'm saying? But also at the same time, it's really weird. I seen another map that looks like the Buddhist map, and it has a lot of copies of the same landmass, and also I don't know who can sail that far. I mean, if you look up some of the stuff Eric Dubé has shown about some of the Captain Cook and the rest of these guys, they had a very hard time, and also they couldn't find an inland. past Antarctica. They just couldn't find an inland. So there's a lot that's really, really strange about that. I'm not a promoter of more land, and there's only one reason why. I've discovered what it seems to be is Admiral Richard Byrd is also a Freemason, and he does talk a lot about being what's the word? I'm sorry, I'm tripping over my words right now. Loyal to his superiors. He's not really loyal to humanity, but I believe in his journal he writes a lot and talks about being loyal to his superiors. So, and right after that, they closed down Antarctica, and they even the polar regions, the northern polar regions and stuff, and the extra land masses that could be there. There's just too much. He didn't do enough. If it was me, I guarantee we would already be there by now. If I had been the person discovering this, you get to live one life. His duty to humanity was to blow the lid off, even at his own life. Okay. So you guys can be rest assured, if I actually get a chance to go to Antarctica, even if my life is at stake and I'm able to get the information back, that's my duty in life, is to make sure everyone knows here what is going on. Period. That's it. I don't need to do any more truth videos. I don't need to do anything else. I've discovered something that 99% of the rest of the earth is not going to be able to do. It has, and I think he took that a little bit too lightly. But I don't really know anybody who can, I don't even know, for the Buddhist map, I don't think they had anybody who wrote it. Cartographer who did all that. So I'm not 100% sure. I don't like the idea of more land until we all, as a nation powerhouse, decide to travel there so that they can't stop us. And then, when we all go there, which we will, I like to sound like George Bush's dad, we will go to Antarctica and we will be successful, like he says about the New World Order. I say the same thing about what we're going to do in Antarctica. You know what I mean? Brett says, getting addicted to this channel. Just found it last week. Don't be brainwashed. Oh, thank you. I hope you guys do enjoy it. I really do. I never thought that I'd be able to ever feature with Eric or have anybody even take the time to listen to anything that I have to say. So I want you all to know I do appreciate you guys taking the time to even listen to me. It's I really like it, and I wish that I did it a lot sooner. I find it to be a lot better. Even than a lot of, doing a lot of music and things like that. So I appreciate that. I really do. Brett says, there is most likely land we don't know about. These royals don't need us. Bottom fear, knock it up. No, I'm pretty sure there is more land. There's a lot of maps that have been showing a lot more land. The only thing I'm not sure of is if there's any more land past Antarctica. So this is like high jump and things like that and stuff. So I'm pretty sure that there's more land for sure. Also, there was one other thing you guys might have heard about, the inner Earth situation. It's so weird how Tyler from Secure Team used to spin that crap to make it believable to people. When I first heard about that, and I'm like, how do you get inside the Earth with it being a spinning ball? How do you do that? When you fall down, how would gravity work? And they're like, yeah, there's another sun. There's this, there's that. I'm like, that just doesn't, you can't go inside the Earth like that. You would just fall to the bottom, right? Or you would fall to the inside. What about the core? And that's why he only talked about that a couple times, if you ask me, is because he didn't want to blow, too much attention, rather, because he's 100%, 2 million subs and stuff. He's working for the elite 100%. And, but yeah, an inner Earth actually works with it being flat. Now it makes sense. I understand that. I understand that perfectly. I could come up with a whole fake model of the inner Earth. David says, what is interesting though, is what Bert said, out of South America, which lines up with it's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it might not be all ice. The thing I'm wondering about is when you go to Antarctica, right? I'm talking about 200 miles inland. So when you actually go to Antarctica, whatever, if there is, a land structure with ice on top of it or whatever's there, I don't know. Mag Bitter Truth was explaining how, you can't necessarily have ice sitting in water because the water would actually melt the ice because it's at a warmer temperature. But the way that icebergs actually form is on a land mass. So if there is a land mass there that is frozen over and not inside the water, then that would explain how that is, in the way it is. And also for the physics of water, there has to be containment. And for the physics of second law of thermodynamics, for us to have air to breathe, there has to be a containment. There has to be. Otherwise, the water would run out. Otherwise, the air would fill the available volume. So we all know this, but I'm talking about 200 miles inland. That's where I want to be. I want to get to Antarctica and actually go 200 to 300 miles inland. I want to keep going. You know what I'm saying? So not the so-called edge of whatever, so-called ice wall. So I don't mean there's a wall of ice. I mean that there's a surface, like what Bird was saying about it. As far as I'm concerned, thing is that we have to go after what we're able to go after. So if they're giving us a good layout and a lot of the old maps, from the 1400s, whatever, if they all kind of line up, which they do with, an ice being around, on the edges there. That's why I say ice wall. I don't mean there's a wall of ice. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So if that clears up some of the misunderstanding of some of that. But yeah, he was talking about how there is land where he's looking at it from a flat map, and he's like from the middle of America. I remember that. I do remember that. There could be. There could be. I'm not even going to lie to you. Like I said, I've been looking into Tartaria, and it looks like there could literally be a whole race of people that we have no idea about there. And the thing is that we're born here on Earth, and we all have a right to know this information. They do not have a right to keep this information from us at all. I mean, what kind of person do you have to be? And this was quite recent. Like I was saying, I blame a lot of the people, even like my grandfather and stuff. My grandfather was born in 29. And he's still alive, still working, still, strong as ever. And the thing is, when they started pushing this and started locking the schools down, saying that this is going to be what they teach. And that's what, and then Bird goes somewhere and they say, all right, yeah, we're going to do this Antarctic Treaty. What were people doing? The other nations should look at all the nations that are signed on this Antarctic Treaty, and they need to, same thing, even if it's us. Because the thing is that all the people that are hiding Antarctica from people, you're hiding Earth from its inhabitants. You're an enemy to humanity. That is a crime against humanity and should have the highest punishable, sentence. It's not right under any circumstances. If they want to teach these little mind control puppets, they can. It's perfectly fine, but they still have a right to show the people what the truth is. Also, Buddhism. I'm not sold on Buddhism. I've seen a lot of. I'll talk about that. The Buddhism thing. If you guys get a chance, check out my BitChute. I'll link it or put it in the comments. But I'm uploading a lot of. I'm uploading pagan origin documentaries. They're about 3 hours long. So I'm going to be talking about the origins of paganism, not paganism, sorry, Buddhism, pagan origins of everything from Christianity to. I'm going to go. It's going to, it's not for everyone, but it is for, people seeking information, and it's truly amazing. So, Monkey King says, isn't this the map that Devin Maggie pushes? The whole thing with the Shangri-La and Mount Murray? I'm not 100% sure. I'm not aware of that. I'm not sure. I was just I'm going to show you guys what this what this is here. What I got up on the screen. Like what I'm actually searching. I'll show you in a sec. And David says out of South America on the Buddhist map. That's where there's a continent which lines up. Okay. That's interesting. Like I said, it's possible. It's just, for me, I don't think that they're going to let us travel that far. To even get to some of those other continents outside, even if there's like multiple rings and we're on like an infinite plane, I mean, it would probably take 5 days on a 500-mile-an-hour airplane flight to get there. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's so far that it's just practically impossible. If the Earth, it's impossible. I mean, it's something that, not unless they have some kind of light speed style rail, and which speed of light, I do have to say, this is a truth network. Light doesn't travel the way that we think it does. Proven by spectroscopy and stuff like that, and the quantum eraser experiment from quantum mechanics and things. So it's, the whole light thing. I just have to say that. But Brett says the part of Antarctica named Rothschild Manor, or something like that. I don't think that was there when I was a kid. Huh. Okay. I think I've heard of that. So there, okay. So there's a part of Antarctica that's owned by, that makes sense. Smith-Mundt Act. Yeah. They repealed that act, and 100%. I mean, it's amazing. I think Obama's the one who, I talk about that as much as I can on here. Obama did that. I mean, that's all we need to say. We don't have to prove. See, that's the thing. People don't understand science. We don't have to prove anymore. Who's lying. We don't have to prove that they're lying. It's kind of like the people ask me, they're like, yeah, can you show me how NASA does their, I don't have to show you how NASA does it. I can just show you that they're lying. I don't have to spend $100 million getting all the same fakery equipment that they do and get a swimming pool put in and get a life-size International Space Station built and have you come over my house with a camera to show. No. That's burden of proof reversal fallacy. No, I don't have to do that. They're claiming it's real. We're showing water in space. It's not. It's completely, and that's a fake medium as well. Space doesn't even exist. So we're dealing with that. David says there was a video of an old lady saying they caught, they taught flat earth. Yeah, that's on David's channel. He was interviewing her. Yeah, I seen that. That was amazing. Yeah. That's the thing. That's actually what I'm doing here with some of this stuff. All this stuff happened in the 50s. It all happened in the 50s. They were pushing, what a couple people were showing was Universal Studios has a logo of the globe Earth back in 1920 or so, before the first so-called picture of, you know what I mean? The Earth, way before the first picture of Earth, so it's I said they already know what they were going to do. They were pushing that from the beginning, but that was during the time they were changing it. So in my opinion, it started being changed heavily in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and stuff like that, David says, how about a fractal plane, Amish, where we're observing a tiny part of the whole? I don't know. Yeah, it's possible. It could be. Who knows? Who knows, man? The only way we're gonna know, for sure. See, the thing is with it, it's kind of like a like video game characters, for say. If you could imagine a video game character being aware that they are being controlled and played by us, it's completely, outside of the realm of their possibility to know. So a lot of theories on it, I'm not 100% sure of, but there is, the only way to really know is to, have that Antarctic treaty taken away, you know what I mean? And having, free exploration of the polar regions as well as the Antarctic regions, we gotta get that back. So that's the, if you ask me, I think that's the, because I would like to know. That's something I really, really do want to know. But can you guys still hear me? Am I transmitting clearly? I want to make sure my yeah, David says, yes, agreed. Has to be. Yeah, it does. It does. It definitely does. There's a lot of information that we definitely need to see, I mean, we live on this earth. We live on this magnificent earth, and we deserve to know the truth. They can't sit around here and hide this from us. This is what I have been on to in the past. Now, few. Okay, Monkey King Grunge. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. I hope my internet works perfectly. This is going to be awesome. I might be able to stream like every day. This is going to be amazing if this holds up properly. It's really sad that I pay a company to handle this and I have to do it myself. I mean, what else is new? This is from 1922 from the New York Post here, and they have some depictions here in this newspaper. Venus, Saturn, Mars. Bear with me. Okay, David, thank you. Bear with me. This is hard to read for me. Glenn Voliva, successor to John Alexander Dowie, I think, with a W. The print isn't 100% clear. The other day, brushed aside all findings of science with regard to the formation of the Earth. According to Mr. Voliva, the sky is a vast dome of solid material from which the sun, moon, and stars are hung like chandeliers over a flat world. And the edge of the dome, he explains, rests on a wall of ice which surrounds the flat Earth to keep foolhardy mariners from tumbling off. Also, Mr. Voliva announced that the sun is a small body, about 40 miles in diameter and about 3,000 miles from the Earth. Existence of a flat world has been taught in the Zion schools for a considerable time. Mr. Voliva merely cleared up these further details to set at rest any inquiries among unduly, I can't see that, curious pupils or their parents. So this I thought was extremely interesting. And I decided to bypass, can actually see the kind of like a wall, and water, clearly by the way the ocean is, water, the physics of water show that we're sitting within something. But this almost looks like a hit piece. But what I've decided to do, Sir Isaac Newton doodled on here, this looks like a hit piece. Thought this was extremely interesting. So what I've been doing is I've been looking into the government and what the government actually has to say about some of these things. I did do a quick search in a couple of government databases on Tartaria, and I got like one result. It's amazing. Oh, anyway, let me go back. I'd like to see a couple more of these. This is some of the first time I'm actually seeing these. That was the one I really, really wanted to show. 1921. This almost looks like there's been some kind of a massive October 19th, New York, 1921. Also, I wanted to say real quick, New York, I think it was John Levi just came out with a few things. New York has been in ruins. I mean, these people have been destroying buildings and covering stuff up and burning stuff. I mean, that is some of the biggest crimes against humanity that I've ever seen. And it's almost like the reason I do a lot of this stuff is to educate people as much as I can on some of the stuff I've learned. And the people who go along with this nonsense are a danger to the rest of us. It's a very serious problem. They're a danger to the rest of us because they're going to be the ones that persecute people like us. And they're the real dangerous ones. They're the ones who are crazy. I don't think anybody who understands anything about the world whatsoever would walk up to a castle and try to break it down or destroy it. There's a lot of room on Earth, and there's a lot of space for a lot of people. And as I debunked overpopulation in my my quick debunks playlist, if you guys get a chance, check that out if you're new here. In the state of Texas, there's enough room to hold every single person on Earth. That's a fact. So whenever they got this nonsense and they're talking nonsense like that, it's just, you know, Monkey King Grunge says exactly. That's what I believe too. Now I think it's a fact. You know, I don't think, you know, when it comes to us, it really is when you hide the very foundation, hiding history and hiding truth, hiding Tartarian races, hiding possible giant races from us. I mean, even the people there who took pictures with these people, they're not even doing enough justice. You know, you see me with a picture next to a giant, I guarantee you, you know, 200 years from now, people who see that picture will recognize that that's something that's out of the ordinary or something that is commonplace. It's not going to be a stage photograph at all either. And what I've noticed is it's not enough. It's too much blank stares, and there's not enough people. You know, I've been looking at a lot of footage from Captain Kirk. If you guys know Captain Kirk channel on YouTube, check him out. He shows a whole bunch of film and video from the 1800s and stuff. And you really get to see how all of this racial and racism things, how it's not really race that divided people, it was class. So what I've been looking into now is all of these bankers, these international bankers that came out from, you know, all these places years ago, and they introduced this currency to us. And they're the ones who introduced all this, you know, where they, you know, the leaders of the world, the owners of the earth, for say, introducing this new system on the people. JP Morgan as one of the main ones, introducing this system, you know, and, you know, it's like I had a conversation with my dad the other day, and I was explaining to him that partly his generation, his dad, his grandfather, they are partly responsible for what happened with JP Morgan and how they completely took over the railroad system, how they introduced the bank system, how they put people out of work, how they became giants. Okay. And they put a lot of people out of work, took over and monopolized things. And then they were split apart 40, 50 years ago. And then they were allowed to be a megalithic structure again a few years after. And it's just, it's amazing. It's amazing. Oh yeah. I mean, I could only imagine, you know, there's a weird thing. I'm not sold on it yet. I'm still doing research into it. And when I get finished with a lot of flamenco, I'm going to talk about it. But they're talking about a lot of different structures that may have been, you know, and petrified and things. I don't know about the whole petrified thing. I don't know about the whole storm, electromagnetic type of storm thing that was going on. I don't know. I have no idea. I got to look into some of that stuff though. But yeah, it's just, it's magnificent. You know, it's things now where I think if any of us walked into an old abandoned location and we found information from 200 years ago or 300 years ago, I think we have the knowledge at that point to stop what we're doing, you know, contact people who have the most reach, you know, and handle it the proper way. You know, not like the shills of Flat Earth who got with Logan Paul and, you know, made a whole bunch of hit pieces, and Netflix and made hit pieces on, you know, things have to be handled properly, you know, because I'll tell you, a lot of fires find their way into destroying history, you know, and it's kind of like if you're building a house and you don't have a stable foundation, then you don't have a house. So we are living right now without a foundation, period. You know, that's our lives, you know, currently. And it's really sad, especially to know that there's giants years ago, and there's technology years ago, and even the radium scare, you know, and the whole radium thing. I mean, having free electricity, growing our own food. I mean, honestly, years ago, could you imagine how clean the air could have been? You know, like just imagine how, you know, how clear-headed that you might have been, how, you know, because everything that happens here is all man-made. So the reason that there's people committing crimes is because of what rules that people have put into place. People steal from people because they don't have it, because technically they separate people by class systems. So that's why people steal. Otherwise, nobody would steal if there's nothing to steal. Even people thinking, I've heard something where people would think that, people would panic if they found out Earth was flat. No, they wouldn't. I think they would feel a lot better. And they would realize that their actions have more consequences. Because if you ask me, knowing that you're on a spinning space ball headed for a black hole at any given time, or an intergalactical giant ripping space-time continual Star Trek universe, I mean, anything can happen. There's an asteroid about to blow us all up and we could die at any given time. I'm scared to go to sleep tonight because of space, quite frankly. And yet nobody's panicking. So I'm pretty sure when they find out that there's a, substance above us that's so hard that these psychopaths can't destroy it. I mean, honestly, think about this for a second. I hate to sidetrack to this, but think about this for a second. These pieces of garbage here shot a whole bunch of bombs up in the air. What if they did break it? Could they have possibly killed every living thing on Earth by way of entropy? You live inside a light bulb, and your first thing is to shoot a slingshot at the top of it? Okay. Good luck with that. That's how psychopathic they are, trying to find a way out. What is that? Operation Fishbowl? Absolutely psychotic. They're crazy. They're all crazy. I did look at the universe. If you guys get a chance, if you haven't seen this yet, if you look up at some of the what is it called, like the Milky Way pictures and stuff, and you actually look up in the sky, some people have taken pictures of it. Every time I try to do a search live, I never find it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. I had to say this. Galaxy picture, just in case you guys don't know what I'm talking about. All right, it's not the Milky Way. I don't know a lot of this weird stuff now, Some of these, this isn't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a picture of the night sky. Is it the galaxy picture? It's not Milky Way. It's the, where's it? There it is. This looks like a crack. This actually looks like a crack. So this might go back to like some biblical stuff where they're saying, like, if there was a flood, for say, that water was pouring in from the top as well as from the ground, coming from above and below. And I don't know how much water you would need to actually flood this, but this does look like a crack. When you look at this, it looks like a crack in the sky here. I'm pretty sure this is a crack. So I don't know. Yeah, some kind of rift, or so. I don't know. I have no idea. But now I look at this with my eyes that I have today. This is, people take pictures of this all the time and they don't really look at what this actually looks like. It really looks like a big crack. I have no idea. But I wanted to say this real quick as a quick side note. Major child abuse bus. There's David says, I think that's what the Mayans called it. Oh, okay. A dark rift. Yeah. I don't know. I just, when you look at that, you're looking at, when you look at this with the eyes of these psychopaths around us, because they're brainwashed psychopaths, thinking that they're moving and the earth is spinning, but they can't show you it's spinning. And then they say it's curved and you're like, can you show me the curve? And they can't show you the curve. And you talk to NASA and they're like, yeah, well, we lost the tapes. You're like, okay, well, we pay you a lot of money. Can you get to the moon? No, we broke that technology. We can't go back. But we can show you 8K from Mars. All right. That's good enough. Anyway, when you look at this with their eyes, you're looking at planets and life and aliens, and you're not even looking at now. You're looking at 100 years in the past. This stuff already took place. I don't know. It's so stupid. It's just so stupid. I lose brain cells when I talk about it. Teachers, thank you. Thank you for brainwashing me. Thank you. This child abuse stuff, there's something I really want to say. A lot of people may not even like this. Monkey Grudge. A lot of people might not like this, but I have to say this because I don't think a lot of people thought about this. Biggest CP, cheese pizza, darknet platforms and crap. They made a bus with 400,000 members. Listen. I got to say this. A lot of people might not like this, but this is real. This is very serious. They have all the people that they claim. Here's what they're claiming. And I see flat earthers and so-called truthers promoting this. Mr. K. Mr. K, rapper, has been jailed for 15 years filming himself sexually abusing a toddler. Let me explain this. No one has the so-called footage because the footage is illegal and you're not allowed to see this. There is absolutely no proof that he did any of this. And the rest of the internet is going to go, oh, yeah, he's definitely a pedo. He's this, he's that. No one can look at the footage. No one. So no one can tell. And I want you guys to know that a lot of people are going to be getting convicted of a lot of this nonsense, especially when they want to take them off of the scene. Because this is something that they can bring on anybody. They could attack flat earthers and say, "Oh yeah, they're doing this." The report came out in BBC. All of a sudden, everybody believes the BBC. Here he is now. Everybody believes the BBC. All the truthers and flat earthers. Now all of a sudden, I see people, like Roxanne. I like Roxanne. Nothing against Roxanne, but you can't be promoting this stuff. You're promoting BBC because why? Because it shows a so-called offender. And you're going to believe them. But as soon as they tell you that you need to go and you need to get a shot, now all of a sudden they're telling you fake news. But now when the BBC tells you this guy did something to a child, you believe it. This is a very, very big problem. It's a very big problem. I just seen this and I just had to mention it because I do think people need to, people need to know that. David says, yeah, losing the data. They lost it all. They don't lose. I'm having trouble with my internet connection 20 feet away from my main compound house or whatever. And it's like, yeah, 8K from Mars, not 4K, 8K. Yeah, I could go to the moon. Listen, guys, look. This is the Amish space station. All right. We got the same technology as NASA here. And I could go to the moon. All right. In whatever is smaller than a nanosecond. All right. Problem is I got a headache right now and I really just I don't feel like it. But I mean, later on, I probably will and I'll film it and I'll show you guys. But right now, it's a headache and my head hurts and I don't want to go to the moon right now. But yeah, so see if I can get hired at NASA. This looks like some more. I love that quote, though. I could go to the moon in a nanosecond, but we lost the technology and we destroyed the technology, and it's just a painful process to build it back again. It's just, we're not trying to go to the moon, guys. We got to get you. We fooled you guys already with the moon. We're going to Mars next, and we'll be smoking a blunt with Elon Musk. Trust me. All right. Elon Musk gets higher than anybody. All right. They should coin that term. I want to get high as Elon Musk. So apparently this looks like some kind of a hit piece that was going on. Zion pupils learned that our world is flat. So this is when they started pushing this stuff during this time period. What it's looking like. They were pushing this, saying, all right, they're teaching people that the earth is flat here and blah, blah, blah. These are all hit pieces. This is all hit pieces. So now we know how easily, they got a helicopter on Mars. Listen, look, and I say this all the time. The only thing I want is one of those little rover things. I want a robot that requires no maintenance. That's what I want. And I want it to last for 100 years. Then I can get my money's worth out of it and everything. I'll be dead before it breaks. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I had to buy like another cell phone a little bit ago. I didn't even drop it. It just stopped working. Oh, man, it's amazing. Globe idea disliked. Holy crap. I got to say, that stupid helicopter on Mars that doesn't even have an atmosphere. Pretty soon they're going to say Mars is within our atmosphere, so there is a little bit of air there. I mean, exactly. Oh my God. It's amazing. I can't believe that I actually used to believe that crap. Oh, I used to sit here and study. I used to study fake pictures, fake CGI pictures. God, I want my life back. How evil do you have to be to make people study CGI pictures? No wonder we found UFOs in them. Tyler Glockner beating his girlfriend. I don't know if it's his girlfriend or his wife. I thought it was his wife. You know? Me too, Amish. We all did. Right. Right. You know, what's the guy's name? The real Jimmy Roberts. That's him. I'll tell you that dude, not the fake Jimmy Roberts, the real Jimmy Roberts. That's him. Mars Artifact. This is the real Jimmy Roberts.
Hey y'all, the real.
See, that's the real Jimmy Roberts, not the fake one. See, he goes through all these Mars photographs. If you guys don't know him, I have some snapshots and pictures of my conversations with him, by the way. And I told him multiple times that these are all fake and it violates natural law and stuff. And he agreed at one point, and then he deleted his comment. So I only got half of his comment on picture. Yeah, Mars anomalies and stuff. Yeah, that dude. Oh, man, he's amazing. He is amazingly brainwashing everybody. He puts his imagination. He finds stuff in pictures that are already debunked pictures. You know, this guy's right here on Mars, I'm sure. Oh, here's Sasquatch, right? Get off of here. I can't do it. I can only look at that type of stuff for a few seconds at a time before I lose my brain. God, I told him, I tried to help him. I was like, dude, don't waste your life, man. You're valuable. You're worth more than that. And then he got mad. He's like, don't talk about NASA like that. If they want to brainwash me, who are you? Who are you to try and stop them from feeding me lies? What if I like the lies? Amish Space Station, you're a troll. You're a bigot. You're racist. And you're a Trump supporter. Oh, God. I don't have time for people like that. He got so mad. He got mad with me. That's what I do. Sometimes on those people, if you want to get their attention, especially when they have like 1 million subs, you really, really have to know how to get their attention. And I've learned the ways of getting their attention, you know? Yeah, I got to search Flat World also. But yeah, to me, this looks like a hit piece. At Zion schools, so this is what was going on in Zion schools or whatever. The new course of study insists that the Earth is a flat, circular world with a North Pole in the exact center, no South Pole, and surrounded by a wall of ice which keeps the venturesome mariners from falling off the rim. That the Earth has no motion, but remains stationary in space. Here's this little space thing. The sun is not millions of miles away. Not millions of miles in diameter and 91 million miles away. First off, they've been changing that too. The same way that they change all this other stuff. They change, now it's 93 million miles, not 91. Speed of light change from this to that, to that, to that, to that, to that, blah, 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 nonsense. But this is weird that I'm looking at this now. This is really, really weird. The sun is not millions of miles in diameter. This is the issue I was looking at. Where is it at? I was just looking at it. Oh my God. Okay, here. Isaac Newton's head. Gravity. Hold on a second. Apostolic Church still teaches, however, that the world. Okay, hold on. The public school maintained by the State Board of Education and attended by the children of non-members of Volivos Christian Catholic Apostolic. I can't talk. Apostolic Church still teaches, however, that the world is a globe moving through. Let me read that again. Did I read that right? The public school maintained by the State Board of Education and attended by the children of non-members of Volivos Christian Catholic Apostolic Church still teaches, however, so the main public school, this is in 21, still teaches, however, that the world is a globe moving through limitless space, and that it was the attraction of gravity which caused the apple to fall on Isaac Newton's head. But what if it was just an anvil that fell on his head instead? And why couldn't it have been? And since people believe in Mandela and time machines, if anybody has one, please send it my way so I can go back to this time period and swap that apple. At the Zion schools, the new course of study insists Earth is flat. Okay. The Zion schools, the new course. Okay. Problem with this is Einstein came out in 1915 with his, if I'm not mistaken, 1915 Einsteinian gravity, which is gravity not being as a force. In his theory of relativity, it's not a force. It is an effect by the bending of a fake medium called time, space-time, a conceptual medium. It's just a concept inside of people's heads. It's a story. So it's not real. It's time. Time's not real. It's just a way to measure the, day and the night. There's no such thing as time, However, there's a lot of globers like Fight the Flat Earth and them. They'll fight me on that. They believe time is real. That the law of gravitation, there's no law of gravitation. Law of gravitation is a fallacy. When objects are thrown into the air, they continue to rise until the force which propelled them is expended, and then they fall back to Earth because they are heavier than the air. But what about when you let a helium balloon go? For some reason, it just, even if you don't throw it in the air, it just goes up there anyway. Really strange. Hey, David says, I got to go, getting late here. Cool stream, Amish. All right. Hey, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. So, it is. I've been on for about an hour. It looks like my stream is actually holding up. So I'm going to look over this tonight and see how many glitches I have. But I might be in business, guys. I think I'm going to look at one more newspaper clipping for today, and then we'll call it. But a standard map of the world on Christopher's projection is used in schools to demonstrate the flat world theory. This map, which is by navigators and scientists in making time and longitude calculations, differs from the usual Mercator's projection familiar in other schools, in that it shows the Earth as it would look to an observer directly above the North Pole, with the continents and seas projected on a flat plane. That is really, really strange. So it looks like there was a fight going on here, and I don't know, but apparently the globe seems to have been. People love sci-fi. You got to admit, people absolutely love sci-fi, and they want the Earth to be. I don't know why they want that, to be honest with you. Globers are really strange. They really, honestly, space is extremely scary and it's dangerous. I mean, what kind of an individual do you have to be to even want to be circling at 500,000 miles an hour into the mouth of some kind of black hole that will destroy you into tiny little bits and pieces? Why would you even want to be an astronaut if supposedly your skin falls off while you're in Earth? Yeah, while you're in space and stuff. I did a live stream about how teaching space is child abuse. And this was a response to Fight the Flat Earth, who I debated before I opened up this channel. It's child abuse. You're teaching your kids that parts of your skin fall off if you go to space. And you're teaching your kids that asteroids are going to fall on their house and kill them. Literally, we could be walking. I mean, I could be outside, okay, hanging out, just relaxing. You know what I mean? Getting some sun. Now, out of nowhere, some kind of asteroid just comes in and just destroys every single thing in my entire area. I mean, okay, all right. Everybody gets that point. You definitely get that point. Teaching space is child abuse, and I would be traumatized as a kid. Luckily, I didn't learn a lot about space because I thought it was stupid from the get-go. So I'm happy about that. Because snapshots under the sea. Why is this faded so much? This newspaper's faded, but it looks, this is an 1897 newspaper. Of course it's faded. It's from 1897. They're always going to keep this stuff faded. All the important crap. Wall of ice surrounding the flat world. See, as far as I'm concerned, This is extremely important. If the Earth were flat, sorry, hopefully you guys can hear me. It's hard talking into my mic. If the Earth is flat, this is how the school maps would look. It's interesting. Man, I wish I could see this better. So this is from 1897, American Magazine. The Earth is flat. Enthusiasts who will attempt to prove the very curious theory. This is strange. This is really strange. This agenda seems to have been going on for a while. Experiments are soon to be made on the coast of Florida for the purpose of demonstrating that the Earth is not round, but flat. Yes. Strange as it may sound. Yeah, it's so strange. While I drink my flat water from my water bottle, there are still a great many people on this terrestrial ball. Holy crap, man. Look at these accusations. They got some brass ones on them there, man. You don't want that to fall on you. Who deny, a lot of Globers. Never mind, I'm not going to say that. Many people on this terrestrial ball who deny that it is a bowl of any sort. The celebrated Professor William Carpenter, who died in Baltimore last September, was by no means the last of his faith. You know what? Long live Professor William Carpenter, who we are speaking about in 2021. Just goes to show who the legendary individuals actually are. In a picture of the Earth, as these unique theorists believe it to be, or some of them, for they do not all agree, the South Pole is seen as a wall of ice surrounding the circular Earth. The conception certainly fits well with the idea of the vastness of the southern wastes of ice, which have turned back all explorers. So this is there was a lot of people during this time period, if I'm not mistaken. You can cross-reference. If I'm wrong, feel free, but I'm pretty sure I'm accurate. There was a lot of people trying to make this journey to the south. The hardy searchers for glory have come much nearer to the North Pole and have made the region around it seem small and familiar compared to that at the South Pole, which is the true terra incognita. In the flat Earth picture, the North Polar region, is that what that says? Is seen region? The North Polar region is seen to be a small region of eternal cold in its center of the circular world. Alexander Gleason, the sage of Niagara Street, Buffalo, gave a long and hearty study to this great problem of the Earth's surface and spent much money in publishing books and collecting information. So there you go. There you go right there. You would never, ever, ever get to see Flat Earth in the newspaper nowadays. You'll never get to see that. It is so unfortunate. This is amazing, guys. This is absolutely amazing. So I want to go over some more of these newspaper clippings. If you guys enjoyed this stream and you think it would be worth my time to go over some of these newspapers and break down everything that the government has on these newspapers and stuff for Flat Earth, let me know. But this is not the only one. There's a lot of databases that are just completely different, and I've been finding things. So I actually want to do a Tartarian search as well to try and figure out. But I really think the Tartarian thing kind of happened pre all of this stuff. It's pre all this, and they don't have the information that they should. But there's so much stuff. Look at all this stuff that I could really go into. All this stuff, and I kind of want to actually research these locations when I go into these. So I might do like a newspaper clipping every other day and actually pull up some research behind the newspaper and the time period of it. but this is all 1910, 1800s, 1900, real like old information. Kansas. It's amazing. Stuff is amazing. I haven't seen a lot of flat earthers go from this direction and really look at some of this stuff. So since since I discovered all this stuff and I decided to get off of Google, I really want to do this. So, if you guys like this, if this content bored you and you don't think it's a good route to actually start looking over this stuff, just let me know. Like to hear your thoughts on it. But I enjoy it though. Seems awesome. So anyways, I'm going to cut the stream off because I do have to look over the stream and make sure that my connection was solid. So I want to give a big thank you to everybody who took the time to check me out today. That is amazing. And thank you guys for joining and subbing to hear the information. You don't really owe anyone in this world your information, or time or anything, and really appreciate that there is at least one individual who actually cares about what I have to say and, want to get some information because, the world is a very selfish place. You know what I mean? And, hey, Tommy Jones. Thank you. The world's a really selfish place and nobody really owes anybody. So I am extremely grateful to, have a few people listen in on me. You know what I mean? And shout out to Eric Dubé and his new film Level. Him and, everybody, ODD and everyone, they are amazing. No problem. So, I think I might be in business to do streams every day. So every day around this time, I'll probably be trying to stream, because this seems pretty interesting. It seems awesome now that I have I'm not going to speak too soon, but I think my internet problem has been alleviated. So hopefully that's the case. Thank you guys. And I hope everybody is, enjoy. Oh yeah. Monkey Grunge says, yes, please do continue. Oh, will do. I enjoy this. Ever since I started studying the Tartarian Empire and things and all this stuff, I decided now, instead of the research from other flat earthers, which a lot of people have done, I want to bring forth information on flat earth from a historical standpoint and see if we can get a little bit of information in what was public and publicized, years ago, because nobody really talks about that. They talk about Einstein, talk about some of the main heavy hitters, but nobody talks about what really was in the newspapers and what was going on from other people published years ago. And I think that's beneficial to the flat earth community as well, because they can use a little bit of this information to strengthen their proofs today, So I think it's positive. I think it's really good. I think it helps. I do. I love the old stuff. The current world bores me. We might even be in for a fake alien invasion soon. I mean, they're ramping that up. And after seeing COVID, also anybody wants to learn get any more information on COVID, germ theory, or any info, definitely check out my my BitChute and stuff. I'm going to be linking a whole bunch of stuff almost under every video to all this stuff. I'm just going to put up a whole bunch of COVID information, and I'm trying to push the boundaries of what I can talk about on here about COVID. So you can't go against the World Health Organization, and so I'm not going to go against the World Health Organization. So I'm just going to talk about the germ theory in general, which I don't see a problem with. I'm not going to equate that to what we're dealing with, but if people can understand the issues with that, they can apply it. So, so it's the same thing. I don't really like to label things too much flat earth. I want to label it globe earth because I want the globers to actually see some of my debunks and see other people who, because the thing is that the only people really searching for flat earth is probably flat earthers. So, you got to go where the globs are, you got to go over to NASA. You got to go on their website. You got to get attacked by trolls. That's what you got to do. You got to put the information in front of the people who believe it. That way they can learn because they've censored everyone else, So if you only show flat earth information in your backyard because every house near you is a glober, none of those people, at those houses are going to learn about flat earth because it's only in your backyard. So you have to go to where the globs are, You guys know what globs look like. They look like the globe Earth. You know what I mean? That's kind of what they look like. So you guys know how that goes. But yeah, I think I'll do this. I think I'll do this every day. I mean, it looks like my connection is really holding up. I am super happy about this. I've been waiting to get this, connection, 100% solid. So finally, you know what I mean? So might actually be able to, come on here, do some flat earth stuff, play a little bit of guitar, play a little bit of piano, and get another person in here for, you know what I mean? For a show, and not have my internet stream shut down on me, Do an internet speed test, and believe it or not, I get a lot of megabytes down and a decent amount up. And it's not the internet connection that's the problem. It's the hardware and a lot of other stuff. But the thing is that this company only allows their equipment, and it's also on their account. So if something's wrong on your account, it won't work. Your signal can be perfect. New lines, new cable in your house, perfectly fine. New everything, new fiber, doesn't matter. If there's something wrong on the account, it won't work. But believe it or not, a lot of people didn't believe me back when I worked there. I said the brain of the system is causing this to act weird. They said, no, the brain wouldn't have an effect on the rest of the body. I said, oh, okay. All right. Fine. Makes sense. Makes sense. And clearly they're mentally disabled. So, I fought with them for about 1.5 years and then I gave up. So that was that. Anyway, you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. I hope you all enjoyed this stream. And yeah, I'm doing a whole bunch of government. I'm going to be doing nothing but government-based flat earth information. And also, some other debunks and things like that. But I want to go into some of these things and actually research Zion schools and research some of these people mentioned, from 120 years ago and find out who these people actually were and what they did. And, I find them more interesting than the people who are alive now. So that's that. But thank you guys for spending some time with me. Enjoy and keep the communists away from your arms, please. Keep them away from your arms. You're worth more than that. Thank you guys. Have a good night.